everybody.
Hi everybody.
I'm Scott.
I'm John.
And we're married.
And
this is our knitting show.
I'm apologizing in advance for the dog sounds in the background. He's having an active evening.
Yes. He just ate.
He just ate. He's making crofts. And yeah. So yeah.
So this is our knitting show where we talk about knitting and yarn and crochet.
Yes,
actually,
we do that now.
Although I haven't done any crochet since our last episode. And we talk about stuff and things.
Stuff and things. Things for you and for me.
And for me. We're in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where it's
cold.
It's below freezing.
Yeah.
And what else?
It is the second to last week in November. Thanksgiving is next week.
Thanksgiving is next week.
We're going to go down and visit Scott's family in Florida.
In Tampa, Florida.
And
see my brother and his wife and their baby Santiago, and my dad and my mom and my dad's wife Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
So it'll be fun.
Yes.
So we're getting ready to do that. It's Sunday today, and so we leave for that on Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Oh, that's right, Tuesday. We get there. We're splitting the travel into 2 days, flying and then driving. So we'll actually get into Tampa on Wednesday, but we're leaving Tuesday night. Right.
So
we've had lots of things. We've been up to a lot lately. We visited our friends Justin and Caleb, who you might know as the Bearded Pearl.
Or the Busted Pearl.
We
didn't really visit them.
No, we did. We got together with them in Chicago.
And that was fantastic. We saw the Lyric Opera production of the Magic Flute, which was really amazing. First time I've been to a classical music performance in about 2 years.
Yeah.
That was really fantastic. And
it was 800 degrees in the Opera House.
Yep.
Not sure why.
Yep.
It was cold outside, but it was very warm inside.
And then just caused general mayhem. Mayhem?
Is that like the bacon version of mayhem?
It's like a mayhem, like an April sausage, a mayhem.
God.
In the city of Chicago.
Yes. And so we had a lot of fun doing that. The couple days before that, we went to Denver to see your nephew in his first high school play.
Which was very fun.
It was amazing.
So
it was an 80s version of
A Christmas Carol.
An 80s rendition of A Christmas Carol.
Yes.
So Gag Me with a Spoon came up once or twice.
Yeah. And then this is the sweater you got me. I'm wearing the sweater you got me for my birthday. So I celebrated my birthday a couple weeks ago. So, yay.
So now is the time of the year when John is 3 years older than me.
I know.
Which I like that a lot. I like that part of the year a lot.
Yes, you got like 6 months of that. So, and then I think obviously we've been doing other things, but those seem like the highlights.
Yes.
So, but this is not a
hand knit sweater, by the way.
Oh no, it is not. This is from LL Bean.
LL Bean.
LLBEA.
Okay.
I can fingerspell. So yeah, the fun thing, it's not a hand knit sweater, but like when I look at it, I'm like, I could do that.
You're like, oh, there's a 1x1 rib, and then there's color work,
and I mean, I don't know if I'd like to do this. It's seamed, so it's anyway, just kind of fun.
Yeah. All right, so I have some small finished objects, a half finished object, and an almost finished object.
Okay.
We have some acquisitions to show.
I have a bunch of works in progress, so I guess we should just get to it.
All right. Let's dive in.
All right, so this is my Thorn Sweater. It's a pattern by Martin Storey. This is the back. Yay! Pretty intense color work.
I'm trying to think. You might want to pull it back towards you, because I'm sure the bottom didn't show.
Sure. So this is what the back has looked like. This has been done
Pull it back a little bit more.
for a bit. So, so I finished the back a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm working on one of the front panels. And here's where I am in the front panel. So it is obviously complementary color work. So this is what they kind of would look like together.
Where the color work patterns are not the same.
Right, they're not the same, but they're of each other.
Yeah.
So I have been knitting on this one for a long time. I was working on the back while we were in Italy 2 years ago. And I'd been working on it for a long time at that point too. But I have an end date on this one. There is a goal date.
Okay.
So we're going to a Roaring 20s party in early March. It's the Sing It Forward fundraiser.
Okay.
And
I find out things during the podcast that I haven't heard before. Okay. That's always fun.
And I would like to get this finished and wear it there.
Okay.
It'd be very fun. So anyway, it is.
Are cardigans Roaring 20? I mean, I'm just trying to.
It'd just be snazzy. That's all.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah. So I've been trying to do, a couple of rows a day on this one. It is because it is so color worky. Like you can't. This is not popcorn knitting. You have to pay attention. So
Can't memorize it.
Can't memorize it. I mean, by the time, so this one has 6 repeats in the row. So by the time I get to the third repeat, I know what the pattern is, but then you start a new row.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think this is about, I don't know. It's got a bit to go. I just need to sit down and focus on it and make it happen because I do really like it.
Not significant. What's the word?
It's got weight.
Yeah, I can't think of the word for that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I like how substantial.
Substantial, yeah.
This feels. This is Cascade 220, which is 100% wool, I believe.
Sure.
And it's not superwash.
Sure.
Or is it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I do not know, but I don't think it doesn't feel like superwash. It feels rougher than superwash, which is good because.
I can't wait for you to block it and have it all smooth out and everything.
Yeah, and then seam together. The seaming together, I'm a little. I don't know. I feel my edges are a little.
That will.
I know.
Are there instructions in the pattern for seaming it, or does it just say seam together?
It says so. It's out of a. Hang on, let me grab this really quick. It's from a Rowan Knits catalog, and so the pattern's in there, and it has, I think, general instructions for how to seam something together. But I'm sure I will very pink knits that.
Yeah.
So.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Because sometimes.
I feel like these patterns are. This would not be a good book to do your first anything out of because they kind of just assume. In my mind, they assume you have a pretty. It's not spelled out with tutorials and stuff like that. It's knit this, do this. So for example, so this is the front panel, and then obviously do shaping for decreases and stuff like that. And so for the next panel, the right panel, they say decrease as the left panel, but opposite.
Oh.
I know. So, I mean, I'll be able to do it, but it's just going to be, it'll be interesting. So.
Oh, yeah, because it says, when stitching the pieces together, remember to match areas of color and texture very carefully where they meet. Use a seam stitch, such as back stitch or mattress stitch, for all main knitting seams, and join all ribs and neckband with mattress stitch, unless otherwise stated.
Yes. I mean, this is advanced, probably intermediate, whatever. But I just assume, and plus it is British.
Well, this is marked as a. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. This is marked as a.
There it is, right there.
Experienced technique pattern.
Lovely.
For the more experienced knitter using more advanced shaping techniques at the same time as color work or more advanced stitch techniques.
I'm in the advanced class.
You're 3 out of 4 circles.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know why we don't subscribe to this.
I mean, I really like their stuff.
I mean,
a lot.
it's like knitting porn. It's
It
like just
is.
looking at the stuff is fun. Plus, as I go through here, you can see little color work patterns that you could take and insert into other things if you wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have to stop. I'm going to sit here for an hour and look at this thing.
So anyway, super fun. Again, it is hard because like generally when I knit, I like to be able to do it in front of the TV, and I can't do that. But what worked on this one is I would just get up, knit 2 to 3 rows before work, then do 2 rows after work, and that knocks stuff out pretty quickly. So anyway,
maybe I'll start joining you for that, or at least once or twice a week. Try to join you for that because we got a fancy new espresso machine.
We did.
And so the espresso machine that we had before was like at least 20 years old. No, probably 25 years old. Really swallowed it now. What was I talking about?
Joining me for morning knitting.
Oh yeah, so yeah, the one we had was like 25 years old, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever. But then now progress 25 years in technology. It's like a whole new thing. It takes maybe 10% of the time it used to take to make a latte, and also it uses like half the espresso.
Yeah, and half the milk.
Which I know doesn't really make sense, but because of the way it worked, the old one worked, everything was very manual, and so you wasted a lot of stuff. And anyway,
it's just a nifty new toy.
It's a nifty new toy, and it's all I can think about. And so that would be fun if I could do that, if I could force myself to get out of bed. And
one of the issues is I have to force myself to get up a little earlier too.
Yeah.
So and then decide that I want to,
that would be a nice way to ease into the day.
Yeah, for sure. So that's my first whip.
Cool.
Why don't you show something?
Oh yeah, so I'm going to show something quick that I've shown before, but is going to be a finished object next time I show it. And that is the Danger Crafts Jerry the Musical Monkey, which is a pattern by Rebecca Danger.
Okay.
And so she has an Etsy, it looks like. So anyway, it's Jerry the Musical Monkey, it's a stuffed animal. And I bought this pattern and the yarn as well back in August of 2020.
Right.
You can believe that. And started it shortly after I got it and then sat it down. It is for Santiago. And so this is the body. And so the yarn that I'm using is this, which is Malabrigo Rios. And then this, which is Barocco Vintage. So this is the colorway 5195. I don't know what that translates into, but and then this Rios, I don't see the colorway on it. I know I've said it before when we've talked. Oh, there's my needles and my scissors. Take those out. Anyway, so this is what the colors look like together. And so basically the way it works is you've got the body and the head and the feet and the arms. Sorry, the feet and the hands, which are stuffed, but the arms and the legs and the tail are not stuffed. So it's kind of fun and floppy and floopity. So like, for example, I think this is the tail. Yeah, this is the tail. And so the arms and the legs are very similar. So like here's...
And you would stuff the hand or...
Right, just stuff the hand, but not the...
Yeah.
Not this part.
Cool.
So yeah, so I've got... Well, I thought I had everything made. And then...
Have you done the face yet?
Sorry, everything but the head.
Okay.
I thought I had everything done but the head. Like here's the ears. But I have a lot more to do. Not a lot more, but I have more to do. So we're leaving on... Oh, here's...
Tuesday.
Yes, I do. Here's the mouth.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly,
Wait, isn't the...
this is his lips.
Oh, is the head the other color?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, I did it backwards, didn't I?
Yeah.
Crap. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, I did that. You're right, I did it in the wrong color. But this is his head, and this is his body.
What?
This is his head, and this is his body. So you put the mouth right here.
Oh, yeah.
But I did the mouth in the wrong color.
Aren't you glad I'm around?
Well, honey, I think I would have picked that up pretty quickly.
I mean, you know, but now you know early.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna stuff and stitch it all together, and then
You could have that done before.
I think so.
And we've got
Before we leave.
have and we also have a drive, so we have to go.
Well, I don't really have any knitting left, except for I have to do the mouth now again.
So it's just stuffing.
It's stuffing and
assembling
seaming it together.
Gotcha.
Is really what I have to do, which is hard to do
In a
when
car.
you're traveling
Yeah.
and stuff. So I'm hoping to get it done before we go. If not, I'll finish it there. But and this is in my Rusted Stitch bag, which is a upcycled
sweater, I think, right?
Yeah, which I just think is awesome. So yeah, so that's the Jerry the Musical Monkey, which I hope, or I will get done.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be super cute.
All right, your turn.
All right, what should I talk about? I guess I'll talk about my sweater, my other sweater.
Wait till you're done.
So I'm working on another sweater. So this is, the sweater is called, let me get it's called The Drake by Todd Gocken. And it is a bottom-up sweater, bottom-up knit sweater. And what I have done right now are one sleeve, two sleeves. So I'm officially off Sleeve Island, and I am working on the body now. So
I can't believe how quickly that's coming along.
yeah, it's going.
Oh, this yarn
I know.
is awesome. I
So-
wasn't sold when you first
Yeah.
got it, because in the skein it was like
yeah.
it's
So
olive green and purple and orange. That's weird.
so the yarn is it's from West Yorkshire Spinners. I think it's called Croft Shetland Colors. It's 100% Shetland Island wool, and the colorway is Mossbank. So yeah, I am. So yeah, this one is good for knitting in front of the television.
yeah.
So and right now I managed to get about, I think I have like 6 skeins of yarn for it, and I managed to get like 2 that were of the different
Dye
lot. So for this right now, I'm doing the every other row in a different color. Different skein. So right now, there's a tangled disaster mess. I have to go fix that. But yeah, I mean, it's just stockinette, more stockinette, and more stockinette.
That seam is from switching the colors
Switching the yarn, yeah.
or switching the yarn.
Yeah. So I think it'll probably
Block out.
block out, or if it doesn't, it's fine too. It'll look
Yeah.
the seam.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
It's a handmade sweater.
So yeah,
So is it raglan?
Yes, but the sleeves are kind of set in, so the
Oh.
decreases, in a raglan, the decreases kind of do a V, and in this one the decreases sort of go up the side, so it looks like the sleeves are set in.
Well, then it wouldn't be a raglan.
Oh.
A raglan would be.
Oh, that is a raglan?
That is a raglan.
Okay, then I guess it's not a raglan.
Yeah.
So.
But it's the body's knit in the round.
Yeah, and then you attach
attach the
sleeves, and then do
sleeves.
the yoke.
Gotcha.
So.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So yeah, and then I also, very excited. And what I'm thinking, I'm a little, when I swatch for it, I'm a little over gauge, if that makes sense. But I'm knitting a medium.
Right. So because your swatch was bigger than it should have been,
Right.
you're knitting a smaller size sweater.
Right. And I'm assuming it's going to, I'm not assuming because I have a swatch where you can see the stitches are a little bigger.
Yeah.
So I did math.
Ooh. That's
So
scary.
I think this will be good. Anyway, I'm super, super happy with this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 sweaters and the needles. One, yeah. I don't know if I'd recommend that. It's really like you have the favorite child, and right now the favorite child is the drake, not the thorn. So anyway,
I have a half finished object, a hoe, which is a sock. It's in my bearded pearl bag. And so here's the sock. I'm going to put it on the blocker. I'm making these for my mom, who desperately wanted me to knit something in
mohair.
With mohair, and I spoke disparagingly of her in the last episode where I mentioned that she wants to do these things, but then she has me do them and lives vicariously. And then I forgot that she had actually knit a cowl
in mohair,
where she held mohair with another yarn.
You don't give your mom enough credit.
Don't let her hear that. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I think she'll love the color. Oh yeah. So the color is okay. I'm on to the second. I've started the second one. This is the mohair. And this is the main yarn. This is Apple Fiber
Studios. Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's a
llama attached to your wool.
Attached to my wool, and I don't remember that. So it's Apple. Did I say Apple Fiber Studios? Yep. And I think they're in. I think she's in Iowa. I think he said Wisconsin before, but oh wait, no. Bellingham, Washington. Okay, whatever. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. This is Alpine Lake, is this colorway. And then this colorway is something else. Glacier Bay. So you can see they go really well together. And when you knit, when you hold these together, you can't really notice. There's not really a difference in it doesn't really change the color. But I decided to do a toe in a different color just for fun, and I had some white sock yarn. I don't know what this is, but then I held the
I think
mohair with that, and I think that really is fun.
That is really nice.
Yeah, it's got little blips, stronger blips. It's not consistent. I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but I like that effect. So those are really cool. I'm following the Rose City Rollers pattern, except that I'm instead of doing the rolled top, I did a 2x2 rib for probably
a bit.
Oh, that'd be about 10 stitches or 10 rows. I mean, and then but everything else is pretty much the Rose City Rollers pattern, and then. Yeah, I think I saw. And I wanted to say this yarn is not 75-25.
Oh.
It is some percentage, which I can't see. Oh, it's 20% alpaca, 60% merino, 20% nylon.
Okay.
So it's got alpaca in it, so it's very
nice and
soft.
strong.
Yeah. And yeah, so I've got one more sock to make on that.
And I've always been a little doubtful of mohair, but between this and then while we were in Chicago, Justin had a sweater he had done knit with mohair. I'm like, I'm actually kind of digging it. It's really, I feel like I always thought mohair would just look messy.
Yeah.
Right? But this looks, I mean, it has the halo for sure, but I really, really like this.
Well, and Justin's sweater was absolutely beautiful, and you just wanted to rub on him the whole time.
Right.
And he said it was very warm.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's super cool.
Yeah, so that's I have to be knitting a sock at all times, so that's my sock that I'm knitting. And I'm keeping the mohair in a Ziploc bag. But I'm using this bag from Pete Moss Novelties for the other yarn.
So we should talk about you're knitting for your mother, Betty Ann, and why are you having to knit her new socks?
Oh, yeah, good question.
Why? I mean, I feel like
so I called her.
You've knit her one pair of socks before.
I think
why
I've
does
knit
she
her
need more?
two, but the first pair didn't fit.
Okay.
I made them way too small. I asked her because I wanted to know the dimensions to make the socks, obviously, and so I called her and I said, "Can you take the socks that I knit you and measure from the bottom of the heel flap to the start of the toe, how far that is?" So, and because if you like the fit of those, if you don't like the fit of those, we can adjust it, but at least that gives me a starting point.
Right.
She doesn't know where they are.
Yeah. Betty Ann. So, Betty Ann is your mother.
Yes.
She is a wonderful person, but I mean, she has her quirks. She does things that
she has her quirks.
She does things that often we find a little concerning.
Yeah.
And one of the issues with her is she's kind of an agent of chaos.
Yes.
And so, how do you predict what she's going to do next?
How do you solve a problem like Betty Ann?
And so, we just started watching on Apple Plus. They're doing a film series, the Foundation series. And the premise of that whole series is this guy develops a mathematical model to help predict the future, looking at past history, and you can sort of move forward and make predictions on that. And so that got me thinking, could we do like that for Betty Ann? Like a psycho history, but for Betty Ann.
Right.
So one of the good things about this is because we have people all over the world who track her activities and movements, and what she does and what she's up to, we have a lot of data. So luckily, one of our BA friends works at Quantico. And so...
Which for folks that don't know.
It's at the FBI. It's, where they,
Is it the headquarters of the FBI?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying Quantico or the Academy. Anyway, so that's where that's the FBI is like they are the first people to start building profiles of people.
Right.
So it's like I bet you could take all of Betty Ann's activities and what she's done in the past, put it in a computer, and then develop an algorithm that could
predict when she's going to lose these socks,
or where she lost them and stuff like that. So again, luckily we have a BA watcher friend who has access to those computers, and so we took all that data, or I took all that data, we took all that data, and we just fed it into the computer. Like it was, I mean, it's probably not the best use of government resources, or is it?
Or is it?
So anyway, we fed all the data into the computer, and this is software that's used to develop profiles of like criminal masterminds and stuff. Like, I mean,
right.
It's a big deal. I'm not joking. Like the computer almost broke. Betty Ann and what
almost
she
crashed the
what she
system
done
'cause
did.
It was so illogical.
Right. Like
trying
to find the pattern. It was just like. Oh. So anyway, but we have a pattern. We have an algorithm, and we're going to test it. So I actually sent the query to them.
Okay.
And we asked them, the people, where did Betty Ann lose her socks?
Betty Ann update. Betty Ann lost her socks doing shots of wild turkey at the Little Brown Jug, a dive bar in the unincorporated township of Chokey, Georgia. She a mess.
So that's what happened to the socks. Now we know.
Okay. In Choke, Georgia.
Choke, Georgia.
So do they have them there? How did your socks come off in a bar while she was doing shots?
You know what the math says? That's what happened.
That's what the math says.
That's what the math says.
Is never wrong.
Math is never wrong. So, anyway, I'm hoping that we can now get ahead of things.
Yeah. So that's where she lost the socks.
That's where she lost. It isn't. I didn't ask where the socks are. I asked.
Yeah.
Where did she lose them?
Yeah. I'm just wondering about these socks. Like, could they predict where these socks are going to be lost?
I think we would need to input when she got them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we need a few more data points.
Okay.
But what we can predict is she will lose them.
Right.
Right. So.
Well, tell your friend that I appreciate her work.
Yeah.
Taxpayer dollars and all that.
Yeah. I think in terms of it's like preventative medicine. Mm-hmm. It's important to catch it before it happens.
Right.
So anyway.
Before it causes too much chaos in the world.
So.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
No problem.
I have one more set of finished objects.
Okay, and I've got one more work in progress.
Okay, so it's your turn.
Is it? Okay.
Because I just did the sock.
All right. So I have I have a scarf I'm working on, but it's just a scarf. It don't change much from day to day. So I am knitting a hat. It's called the DK Garter Snake Hat. It's a new pattern by Lavanya Patricella. 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 So it just came out. So when someone releases a new pattern, all the test knitters post on Instagram, whatever. So I think it's a pretty recent pattern, and I saw it, and I'm like, I would like to make that. So it is
super cool.
It's a combination of brioche and garter stitch. So the two colors I'm using are this.
Blush and bashful.
And this. And the purple, this one is from Neighborhood Fibre Company. This is from Neighborhood Fibre Company. The color is called Banksy. Which is
the artist.
Like the artist, I assume.
Yeah, it's kind of got a graffiti look to it. It's got grays and blacks with magenta mixed in.
Sure. It looks like a tonal purple to me.
Nope.
And the other one is from Ken Yarn, also DK. Oh, and this is, I think it's 100% superwash merino. Yes. And this one's also DK. It is also 100% superwash merino wool. It says it's mulesing free. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Mulesing free. I'm interested.
We'll have to look that up.
So Ken Yarn, and this colorway is Peacock. So I got this yarn quite some time ago, and I've always wanted to find a pattern to knit for it, and I really like the way those two look together.
Yeah, because it's got the purples and the magentas and the pinks, but it's also got blips of like that neon-y, like blue-green that you see in Peacock's Tail.
Yeah, I really like it. I think this, and so I just...
Or in the feathers, I mean.
I just started this, and the one thing that's a little tough, it's on pretty small needles. I mean, a pretty small... Oh, shoot. No. I think we're all right.
Crisis averted.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. So it's on pretty small needles, and so it's not the easiest to see what the brioche looks like because, like, it doesn't spread very well. But let's see if I can do a little reveal right there. So in the way it works is that is a brioche section, and then also a garter section, and eventually the garter section takes over the whole hat. And the other thing which is kind of fun is because it's brioche and garter, it's reversible.
Oh.
So I kind of like how this looks. Anyway, it's kind of hard to tell again, but I kind of like how this looks. So,
That's super cool.
yeah.
Yeah, because right now you've got the gray kind of the predominant color.
Yeah, is the
And then, but when you flip it,
yeah.
the brighter peacock becomes the
So I'm
color.
going to really try when I do the the weaving ends, making sure it stays reversible. I won't do a pom-pom. And the other thing I did is I did a tubular cast on for this.
Does it call for that?
No, but I mean, it's just,
It looks really nice.
it looks great. I mean, every time I do a tubular cast on, while I'm doing it, I'm like, why don't I just do long tail? Because this is so futzy, but like, it just looks fantastic. So, and I'm knitting this for our neighbor Kate. So this is part of John knitting hats for his neighbors, and I've never done brioche in the round before, and it's awesome. Like, I've done flat brioche before, and that was like, you're having to, like, it's a little more complicated flat, but round brioche is actually really easy. So yeah, I really like this pattern. I just started it, I think, 2 days ago.
No, 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days ago. And yeah, I have another. So this is actually a little bit of a test thing, see if I liked knitting brioche in the round, because I have another hat that I want to knit for another friend of ours as part of a holiday gift exchange. And it's a brioche hat. It's, I think, by Knit by Tallow or something like that. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's not even on the needles at all. But I wanted to make sure I enjoyed doing brioche before I started on that one.
Yeah.
So, anyway, super fun. I really like the colors. I feel like they go well. I feel like they're not, like, sometimes with brioche, it's like people do like super high contrast colors. So like a black with a white, or a, so it's really stark. And I like how these they feel related.
Yeah, well, in this one, I think you thought this was purple, and it's not. But being that it's gray, but it has these colors in
Are you
here,
sure it's not purple?
I'm 100% sure it's not purple.
So, okay, it's charcoal with blues?
No. It's charcoal and black with magentas. Or not magentas, like maroons.
I feel like that's purple.
No, honey. There's gray or black, then there's a blip of maroon. Then it's gray or black, then there's a blip of maroon.
So what I feel,
or bright,
yeah,
magenta-y.
So
yeah.
I think, let's diagnose my color blindness for the 8,000th time. But I feel like I must be picking up on the magentas, and because I know I have a trouble seeing colors sometimes, my brain is adjusting to make me look at the gray as purple.
If in a different light, this could appear purple.
Okay.
Because of the other colors that are involved, and it is what is that word? Variegated?
Tonal.
No.
Is it variegated?
Tonal, in my mind, tonal is like one tone.
But I always think of tonal as like a little
variation within that tone, but it's one tone.
Okay.
This is not that. This is, but I can't remember. I guess that term would be variegated.
Yeah.
It's got gray, black, light gray, maroon.
Gotcha.
And then there's. My suspicion is that it's all maroon, but it's different intensities of the dye.
Okay.
So it looks pink when it's lighter, but yeah, there's no purple in that at all.
Okay.
But it works amazingly with this because the maroons and the pinks are in this, and so I don't know if people can see that. So it pulls it together.
Cool.
But it's actually better than if it were purple, because if it were purple, I think it would take away from it.
It would be too matchy or something.
Yeah, it'd be too busy.
So anyway, and I guess the other thing is, like, brioche, just like, again, the reason it's on a small cable is because that was the cable I could find when I was doing casting it on, and I'd rather do too small of a cable than too large of a cable. I mean, it doesn't matter. It just means that I don't get like quite the sense of what it's going to look like when it's done.
Right.
But yeah, really enjoying this.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's my work in progress.
Okay,
My newest work in progress.
All right, so I'm doing some Christmas knitting, and I love knitting Christmas stuff, whether it's ornaments or just tchotchke things or whatever. And so this year, what I decided to do is, I think I probably mentioned this, but about a year ago, in a couple weeks it'll be a year, I started as the manager. I was promoted to be the manager of my team. And so I'm putting together gift boxes for each of the members of my team, because we're not going to be able to get together to have a celebration at the end of the year like we normally do. Partially because we're having COVID stuff still, and so it's just not the safest right now to do that. And then in addition to that, because of the fact that we are 100% remote now and will be for the foreseeable future, one member of my team has moved to Texas, another one lives in Wisconsin, and just in general, they're all kind of not close to a central location like we were when we all had to drive into the office. So I'm mailing everybody gift packages. And so what I'm doing is I'm knitting. These are coffee cozies. I can't remember what else they might be called.
Koozies?
No, I meant like sleeves.
Okay.
Not a different pronunciation of the same word.
Koozie.
So, can you please not?
I was trying to get the yarn out of the way so people could see better.
Helping.
Oh my god.
Stop touching my thing. Okay, so I saw this, I think it was on Instagram. And I was just like, OMG, that is so cool. Because I've always wanted to do this Holiday Doodle Cup Cozy. And it's by Jamie with the Pacific Knit Company. PacificKnitCo.com. And so, sorry, I'm just looking here. So it's a brand new pattern. And basically what she's done is, she lives in Seattle. But basically what she's done is she's created charts that you can plug into the different sections of the cup cozy. So, and then they've got different of the main parts. You've got an upper border, a lower border, and then you've got a main motif, and then there's ribbing at the top and the bottom. And so the main color and the borders are different sizes, so that's why the cup cozies themselves are different sizes. But so I've been playing around, and so this was the first one I made, and it's got obviously gray for the cup cozy, or for the ribbing, and then there's just basically a single knit stitch every other stitch color work at the top and the bottom to create the border, and then I did green snowflakes on a white background. Then I tried to be creative, and I was just trying different things, and I did this one, which I don't like this one, obviously. Not obviously, but I don't like this one because it's
not the pattern. It reads as a colorwork pattern, but not like a Christmas or winter colorwork pattern.
Right.
Yeah.
It's using all the same colors made it not great. I don't know if you can even tell, but there's a snowflake just like this one. There's a snowflake made out of the white stitches on a green background, but then I also did a green for the top and bottom borders. So it's just, I'll use this one for myself.
Right.
And then this one I finished today, and this one is obviously Christmas trees on a white background, and then red at the top of the bottom, and with a little white detail.
Yeah, those are very cute.
Yeah. So what I'm planning to do is I was at Starbucks in Denver, and Starbucks sells these. They're reusable, and they're not that expensive. But they look like a Starbucks coffee cup. They're not the like ceramic ones that are really expensive. They're plastic, I think. But so I plan to buy a bunch of those and slip these on them and include them in the package.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So basically I'm knitting them out of acrylic yarn that I bought I've bought over time. But it's a, you know, some of it's Karen, some of it's Vanna's Choice, you know, stuff like that. But did I put no,
So you're using stash yarn for this.
kind of. Some of it I bought, some of
Okay.
it is stash yarn. But so this is the one I'm working on right now, and it's done on DPNs. I guess you could probably do it on like a 9-inch circular, maybe. But I don't have a 9-inch circular in 4s and 5s. But basically, for the one I'm doing right now, it's the same as this, except I've decided to put black on the top and the bottom. So it is fun. What is the word I'm looking for? Like TV knitting.
Yep.
I do have to watch the chart, but it's very easy to.
Yeah, as long as you're not watching something in a different language, you're probably okay, right?
Yeah, right. Where I have to read the subtitles, but they're stretchy too, so they'll fit. I mean, they're not super stretchy, but they fit. They'll fit on, you know, whatever coffee mug or whatever. So
I think
or
that's super
coffee
cute.
cup. So yeah. And I can knit about. Oh goodness.
What, babe?
I just saw.
Did it spell out a dirty word?
No, I'm not Betty Ann. No, I see where I either wove in some ends or held the yarn or whatever, and it kind of bled through on the color work, but not a big deal.
No. It means
just
it's
something
homemade.
Just something to learn.
Yeah.
I can knit one of these in about 2 sessions of knitting.
Right.
So I get through about half of one, and then I'm like, I want to do something else. And then, so like this one's halfway done. And so then I'll finish this one tonight and have another one done. And so I've got 9 members of my team. And then if I get through all of that, which I probably should be able to, then I can make one for my boss and then the 2 other managers that are in my group.
Nice.
So that would be a total of, 12
Yeah.
to make. So
Yeah, that
shouldn't
seems
be too
doable.
bad. Yeah. So because I've already got 2 made. This one I'll use for myself, and then So I should be able to get that done. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's that. That's my last thing that I'm working on right now. Eventually, I'm going to switch and start knitting some ornaments because I like to knit ornaments for my family and our families every year. I'll try to get that. I think I'm going to switch. When I first started doing that a couple years ago, I would just do random ornaments, but I think I'm going to try to stick to...
The sweaters again?
No, I'm going to try to stick to a ball, but put like the year or something on the ball and then do them all consistently so that it's easier and faster because you get used to the pattern, and they'll be better quality because I will have knit that same pattern over and over again. And then, they can know what year I made them and
for
all
sure.
that kind of stuff. So
Very cool.
yeah. Oh, and I'm using the Lucca needles that John bought me.
Yay.
Was it last Christmas or birthday? I can't remember.
I think it's your birthday.
So this is the... What was the name of these? It wasn't blue. It was like... Was it denim? I don't remember. But it's blue. It's the blue DPNs. They're great. What is that? Probably 4 or 5 inch long. And it uses 4s and 5s. I love these needles.
Good.
So, yeah.
All right.
So, want to talk about acquisitions?
Yes.
Okay, so we got a really nice surprise from Apple Yarns, from Andrea at Apple Yarns. And I remember, now I understand why I got confused as to why I thought she was in Iowa. That's the name of this. Iowa's the name of the street in the address. Bellingham is where she is at. But she had seen us talking about the yarns when I was doing the socks in a previous episode, and she reached out to me and said that she'd love to send us something. And so she sent us their October Sock Fix subscription. And so I think it's really I mean, I'm excited to show you guys the yarn. And then she also included an apple pie recipe.
Yay.
And I love to bake, so So I'm sure I'll
And you know
make
it's good.
that.
It's made with Crisco.
It's made with Crisco. Crisco, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's another pie crust recipe. I'm always trying new pie crust recipes. I like the one that I have, which is the Barefoot Contessa pie crust recipe, but the Paula Deen one, I mean, I love Paula Deen recipes, but the Paula Deen one, I've never had a pie crust that shrank so bad in my entire life. So anyway, that's for a different podcast.
Right.
So this is beautiful, and it came with two 20-gram minis.
Ooh, pretty.
Which is cool. And so they are, I think the base is called Gala, and it's 75% superwash, 25% nylon, 460 yards per 100 grams skein. And then, so this is, you can see it's a blue and a purple, and then this colorway is, this is, the colorway is just the October sock yarn.
Yeah.
So, same base, but you can see it's basically white with the purple and the blue in it. But there are some speckles too, of maybe a red or maroon, like right in there, almost like a rust color. Although in other spots it looks kind of bright red. But it really not. Only just a couple speckles here and there, not a lot. So, I have not knit with a yarn that has speckles in a long time.
Yeah.
And the first skein of yarn that I ever knit with was like a robin's egg blue, and it had like orange speckles in it. And I loved knitting with that. It was just fun when you would get a different
little boop.
blip of color every once in a while. Gosh, I hadn't thought about that for a while. But anyway, so I think, I can't decide. I'm thinking that we might use this for like another
Knit along,
because we haven't done one of those in a long time. And
we could do a 2022 knit along.
Yes.
Or in 2022.
Yes. We'll start one after the new year.
Yeah,
because
that
I'm sure a lot
sounds
of people are Christmas knitting and stuff right
Yeah.
now. So yeah. So I'm excited. I was very appreciative.
And it's like funny because like I've done, I did that sweater, the Marldish sweater. I used Apple Fiber Studio for that.
Oh yeah.
And I really like their colors. And so
I'm always excited when I see them at like we don't go to a lot of like shows or whatever they're called, like not conventions,
trunk
but
shows.
like trunk show. Yeah. And I always am excited and they were at this trunk show that we went to. It was the cruise, the day cruise, and that was where I bought the blue yarns for the sock.
Yep.
And so I'm always excited when I just love her colorways and her yarn and everything. So, all right. That's all we gotta do. So then, when we were in Chicago, when you got 4 knitters, me, John, Justin, and Caleb,
we went to
Chicago.
We went to two stores.
Went to 2 stores. One we had been to before, but they've changed locations, and that was. All right, John and I are fighting over who bought what.
Okay.
I'm looking to see if it's spelled out on here, but
nope,
it's not.
It's not.
Dang it. And I got a little swatch measuring thing.
So we went to, it's good. We went to Yarnify. Oh.
Yarnify, that's it.
Right, that's the one we went to.
Why are you saying oh?
I thought there'd be 2 different receipts, but.
No, because remember this was the Yarnify bag. The other, I combined them all into one bag.
Right, but where's the I was hoping the receipt from the other one so we could remember what place we went.
It's called Knit1 Chicago. John.
Okay. Oh, yes it is.
It's right here. Right here.
I'm gonna kill you.
So, I think one of those skeins is mine, but
I feel like
no, I think you bought that.
Yeah,
I think
because I think this is all.
So why don't you start with yours?
Okay.
And walk through like
God, and I don't.
The thought process.
Okay, so this is
not that there has to be a thought.
There
process
is no thought process. This is from I guess Yarnify. This is a the dyer is Sanctuary Whiskey, and I can't see who knit it because the price tag is.
Oh, before we get into this, I want to tell just a quick couple stories about this.
Okay.
So We went to Yarnify because I had been to Yarnify. We had been to Yarnify a couple...
2 years ago.
2 New Years ago when we were there. And I wanted to go back there because I just remember the people being really great and having a good selection. And I had bought some gay pride yarn that was like mainly gray, and but it had a rainbow going through it, and I knit a pair of socks with it. And I just had really fond memories of that store. And so the thing that's great about that store is just the people. Yeah. You know, and I mean, yes, they have a great select. I mean, they had a wonderful selection, but people are just
it's a very welcoming place.
Yeah.
And then what was funny is, so we were walking around. We were walking around Chicago, and we were like, oh, let's go to this yarn store. So we put it into our phone, and we got there, and we're like, well, this is the same yarn store, but it's not where it was before, and they had moved.
Yeah.
So.
And one thing that was funny that happened was that Justin and Caleb were recognized by someone who was either working there or just hanging out knitting there, and we did not. So, which is to be expected, because I think they have double the number of subscribers we have,
and that is okay.
It totally was okay. It was just really funny. It was like we come out of the store and we're like, oh well,
we
must be nice
too.
So anyway, that was really funny. So then the other store we went. That one we had to drive to because it was out of the city proper, I think, wasn't it?
No, it was just not near.
It was just not. Oh, that's right.
Because we were staying basically down like Magnificent Mile area, and there's a little further north.
Yeah. So that one, Knit1 Chicago, I think Justin lost his mind.
Yeah.
I mean, because they had an amazing selection. And it was just like, it was beautifully displayed, very clean, you know, beautiful, organized. But there was a lot of there was a lot of options, a lot of selection, but they had some great dyers, and I'm not even going to remember any. I mean, we'll talk about the ones that we picked up, but. Just some of the dyers you don't always see. And it wasn't like the big, not chain, that's not the right word, but like some of the big names.
Yeah,
like,
you always see Rowan, you always see Brooklyn Tweed and stuff like that.
Yeah, but these were ones that you know about, but you don't see everywhere. Yeah. So anyway, why don't we walk through?
Sure. So I got this at Yarnify, and this was... I'm sorry. Sanctuary, I think, is the dyer. I think it's the color. I'm going to pull this off. It is... Oh, here we go. Alchemy is the dyer. Alchemy Yarns. And this is called the Sanctuary colorway, and the Sanctuary base. And the colorway is Whiskey. And it is 30% silk, 70% wool, 75% wool. So I just really liked this color, and I think it's going to be. So they only had. I would have bought a lot more of this. They were kind of clearing out, or not clearing out. They were at the end of their stock, and so this is the only skein of this color they had.
Because that was in the clearance section.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
But it's just beautiful to touch, and I think this will go really well as I think I'll make mittens out of it with some color work.
I like your selections when we go yarn shopping, because I would never give this a second glance because it just looks like regular old brown yarn to me. But you see this and you're like, oh, I can do this with it or do that with it.
Yeah.
And,
it's a good base color, and it just feels fantastic.
Yeah.
The other thing I got there, I think I got this. This is from Knitted Wit, who I love. I've done a lot of stuff with their stuff before. Knitted Wit sock yarn. This is their sock base, and the colorway is called Veterans Affairs. And
this is kind of a camouflagey.
Yeah. And what I want to do with this is maybe knit a cowl with this, but hold it double. So I love their colors. I think this will just knit up beautifully. So, and it's 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. Maybe I'll do DK socks with this.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Because I can't do regular socks, but I can do DK socks. So
because it pains you. So
it's just,
it's not your jam.
It's the progress is so incremental.
It's not true.
Anyway, so yeah, and then at I feel like I got this at I think it's at Knit1. I got this, and this is
See, I thought that was at Yarnify.
I can't remember.
Keep going.
Yeah. So this is called Mid-Coast Springs by Yarnify. And this is it's a Targeline twist. Targeline.
Oh, yeah.
So the colorway is called Odds and Ends, and it is 80% Targi, 10% bamboo, and 10% Tussa.
Tussa. Never heard of Tussa.
Yeah. So I think this, I don't know what this is. I just loved the colors. I assume this will either...
See, that's one I think I bought.
I feel like I bought it.
It doesn't really matter.
I mean, it really doesn't. Once it goes into the stash, it's community property.
It's gone forever.
So that's what I got. Do you want to do your Yarnify ones, or I just go through all of mine?
Yeah,
okay. And then the other two, I got this at the other place, Knit1 Chicago. This is just a Erin Moore light. It's merino wool, cashmere, and silk. And I'm gonna get mittens out of this.
So this says the Fibre Company.
The Fibre Company.
Must be, and it's a tweedy blend of fine merino wool, cashmere, and silk.
Yeah. So I think I can make mittens out of that.
Oh, I never noticed the maroon in it.
Mm-hmm.
The maroon blips in it.
Yeah, I think
and
this will...
it's 328 yards and 100 grams.
So it's saying it's sport weight.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I enjoy knitting mittens. So
keep going.
All right, and then this is from Knit1 Chicago, and this is their own, I think, in-store brand. And
I'm sorry. The colorway of this is Sheelan.
Sheelan. Okay. Probably some Irish thing. I'm partially Irish, so I can be disrespectful of that heritage. So this is called, this is their Strong Spun. It is DK weight, 200 yards. Not sure what you are, little thing.
What are you looking for?
What it is.
100% wool.
Okay. And the colorway is called Piglet.
John, you only bought that because of the colorway name, I think.
Yeah. Totally.
But yeah, they must have their own yarn.
Yeah. I like this, and my thought on this is I think this is 400 yards, and I was thinking if I ever do a yoke, this would be a really good yoke sweater color.
Yeah. To include that into the colorway.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my aspirations for this, and I love DK weight. So if I ever do a DK weight yoked sweater, this may go into it.
Cool.
Piglet.
All right, so what I bought. I don't remember where I bought what, so I'm not going to worry about that.
That's from Knit1 Chicago.
Yeah, thanks, John. So, okay, this one I know was at Yarnify.
This is also from Yarnify.
That's what I got 2 and 2. Okay, so this is Stitch Together Studio, which is the dyer that I bought from the last time I was at Yarnify. Stitch Bubble is the base. It's schlub yarn, which we used to call skank yarn because I couldn't remember it. But it's Faded Flannel is the name of the colorway. It is 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon, 438 yards and 100 grams. And my plan is to make a sock head hat with this. I think that's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
I want to start it right now. Then I just fell in love with this kind of the pastels that kind of all blend together.
Mm-hmm.
This is also Stitch Together Studio, I just realized. This is their smooth sock base, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards for 100 grams, and the colorway is prismatic. And so I just saw this and I was like, it looks like a melted ice cream something.
Yeah.
I just think it's super cool. So then when we went to Knit1, I got, so Farmer's Daughter Fibers, I have affinity for Farmer's Daughter Fibers because the first sock blank that I ever bought was from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really enjoyed knitting from that sock blank. And I've got a couple other sock blanks,
Mm-hmm.
and I just have never gone back to them now that I think about it. But this one is squish fingering, 100% superwash merino, 438 yards in 100 grams, and the colorway is Fancy Dancin'. So there was something about the tan with, speckles. Remember I was talking about not having knit with speckles.
There you go, babe.
But it's tan and it's got pink and purple and blue and green speckles in it. And so I just thought that was something about that. And then this is similar where it's got kind of a tan base, but then I just was attracted to those that day. This is from the Knit1, from their yarn label, Knit1. They do their colorways by number, and I don't know if they, like, if this is always number 7 or after a while they change what number 7 is. I don't know. But this is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards, and 100 grams. So it's kind of a heavier fingering sock. Yeah, so it's just kind of teal and orange on a tan base.
Very cool.
So that is what I bought.
Yay.
Oh, and then I bought this little thing.
For swatching.
Yes.
All
Because we
right.
bought a wood one and I promptly broke it.
Yes, I like the wood one so much, but I mean, this is why we can't have nice things.
That's right.
So yeah.
So, we don't have an Angela Lansbury movie
We do
to
not
review because we didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But we will.
It's called The Company of Wolves. It's by Neil Jordan. I think it's from 1985. Perhaps. So yeah.
Looking to see if I forgot anything, but I didn't. So,
right.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll be back soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.